this is Aviator with Aviator Games, and today I'm going to do a quick tutorial with GDevelop 5. We're going to focus on pickups and how to deal with collisions when you hit that pickup. Modify a variable and then modify something about the player object. And also I'm going to show you how to display text to the screen. Alright, let's jump in. Alright, so let's start off by going over here to the objects panel. As you can see, I already have some pre-made objects. I have the ground, player, obstacle, coin, and a text object. If we pop over here to the projects panel to the global variables, you can see I created a global variable called coins and set the initial value to 0. Go ahead and close that out. I created a new layer called GUI. So let's go over to layers, press the plus, add another layer. You can call it whatever you want. Click on the player, open up the the properties panel, and you can see I created another an instance variable called speed up and set its value to 0. I'll explain that in a second. Okay, let me click on the text, double check something. Okay, for right now, I'm gonna keep this set to base layer. I'll explain that to you in a second too. All right, so let's pop over here. Let's see what's going on with the events. All right, so this very first one, it says at the beginning of the scene, you want to pause the timer T1. That's what I named it. If you make a timer, make sure you have these little quotations or these little quotes. Okay, and then the second line is just centering the camera on the player. And then this next one, it's checking if the timer is greater than 3 seconds, then it's going to do all this. This fourth one handles the collision. When the player collides with the coin, it's going to do three things. The first thing it's going to do is going to add a coin to uh, the global variable coins. It's going to set this instance variable to 1, and then it's going to delete the coin. This next one, it's going to check to see if this variable equals 1. If it equals 1, it's going to unpause the timer. If you remember, when we first started the scene, it's going to pause the timer because you don't want to start the scene and it just automatically start doing this. So we want to pause that timer. So, but like I said, so when we collide with the coin, it's going to change that speed up variable to 1. So if it equals 1, it unpauses the timer. All right. So this deals with the player's movement. So if you press the D or the A key, it's going to check if one of those keys are pressed, and if it equals 0, then it's going to set the speed to 200 or move it 200 pixels. But if it equals 1, it's going to allow you to move faster. So right now I only have the A and D key set to go left and right. This last little bit right here, this is gonna set the text to the variable to that value or whatever you want in your game. So to get to this, you would pop up here, go down, modify the text. This will pop up. You would select which object. In our case, it's going to be a text speed up, and then uh, you want it to set to or equal. Let's go ahead and delete this. You can type all that in, or you can do it the easier way. Click on this button right here for global variables or scene variables. You would go to the top and look for variables, and then you have this little drop down. If you want an object variable or instance variable, you go to common expressions for all objects, go to variables, and you click on here, and as you can see, objects variable. You would click on that, and then you will pick the object, and then look for its variable. So for us, for this example, we want a global variable. So let's click up here, click on global variables, click on the line, or type in the variable that you created. But once again, if you click on here, this is easier. Um, click on the coins, hit done, and as you can see, you have this red little error. Now, if this was not correct, and you click down here, or anywhere besides this line, um, this will stay red. But if it's correct, it will go away, as you can see. Now let's just do something random. Click down here, bad symbol at the end of the expression. So as you can see, there's an error. So you would want to, fix whatever you did. You know, type the right code in here. Okay, so go ahead and click OK. So now the text will display this variable, or I'm sorry, the global variable coins, and we should be good. So let's go ahead and launch. Now, as I said, if we hit A and D, and that speed up variable equals 0, it's going to move at a speed of 200. But as soon as we hit a coin, collide with the coin, it's going to bump it up to 500, and then it's going to add one coin to that global variable. So let's do it. See that? Now, you can also see, or you'll probably also notice that it slowed down. That's what that timer was for. Okay, and then the other thing is, where's where's the the um the GUI, or that text object to display how many coins we have? Well, if you remember, the camera is centered on the player, and so if you look at the room, where do we have the text? That text object, it's way over here in the corner, but the camera is showing only over here. So what we will have to do is we will have to bring it all the way down here to see it. So let's go ahead and play. And as you can see, you can see it. But if we leave the leave the if we move to the right or too far in one direction, we no longer see it. That's a problem. You don't want to do that. So how do you fix that? Very simple. So first, you click on the text object, go to the properties panel, and you remember when we created that layer, that new layer? Okay, so you hit GUI. So now, if we place this up here or anywhere on the screen, that's where it's going to display. So remember, the camera is following the player on the base layer, so it's not going to move. This is not going to this is not going to go off the screen. So let's go ahead and look at that. It's going to stay right there. We hit the first coin, moving fast. The timer ticks down 3 seconds. We go slow. We hit the second one. We got 2 coins. 3 seconds. We go slow. So I know depending on what type of game you're going to create, you might not want that to happen. So let's say instead of this being a coin, this is like some shoes or whatever, and that as long as you have those shoes and you get it, you don't want your speed to decrease unless you lose some shoes. So, which in that case, you just get rid of that bit of code. So for this one, what we would end up doing is just get rid of the timer stuff. Delete, unpause, and yeah, right here. All right, so maybe you might want something to be temporary, or maybe you want it to be permanent. So let's go ahead and try that. Right now it's set at 0. We hit, we are, we collide with the coin, and as you can see, it's not slowing down. Well, I hope that that helps you guys out. I know this is just some basic stuff. I'm still learning myself. There's a lot more complicated things I'm going to try to get to eventually, but for right now, just trying to stick with the basic stuff. Trying to open your guys' minds to new ideals, and maybe you can expand off of this. Um, also, too, I went ahead and deleted my Patreon. I don't know how you say that account. Um, I don't want anybody to have to think that they have to do a monthly donate a monthly amount. You can go ahead and go to my my PayPal. You can donate one time if you like what you're seeing and you want to continue these tutorials. But anything helps. You know, if you want to donate 50 cents, hey, by all means. But anyway, to look out for my next series. I'm going to be doing an RPG uh, series. That's going to be a little bit. I will do some smaller tutorials. I am reading the comments. There's some requests on there that I can't do just yet. Um, I will research some of that harder stuff. If I can do it, I'll do it right away. But like I said, for now, I'm focused on just doing the easier stuff, and then work our way up to the harder stuff. I plan on doing an inventory system, health bars. Let me see what else. Maybe I believe someone requested a store. Um, I'll go ahead and do something like that and go from there. So thank you for subscribing. I see we hit 25, and let's see if we can go up. All right, you guys have a good night.